What is going on, everybody? Tyler Brandt back here with another video. At this point on your Sunday morning, your Sunday afternoon, I would have hoped you'd be watching my Patriot pregame, coverage versus the Kansas City Chiefs this week. But unfortunately, after a whirlwind of a 24 hours for the New England Patriots, now we don't really know when they're going to play. As far as everything I've read to this point on Sunday, it looks like they're going to play a Monday evening game, but it's been a really, really wild 24 hours in terms of COVID-19 and the Patriots and what that means for the NFL and the whole landscape of the league and everything like that. So instead of the pregame video, which would have been for today's video, since there is no Patriots today, you're going to get this video today, and then whenever that game is played, Monday, Tuesday, whenever it is, it's ready to go, and you'll see that game. You'll see that video the morning of, that game day. So whenever that game is, that video will come out. But for now, I wanted to just talk about what an absolutely bonkers day yesterday was and where we are now with the Patriots. So if you haven't heard to this point, Cam Newton, at this point about 24 hours ago, tested positive for COVID-19. And before we get into the ramifications in terms of on the field for the Patriots, just as a fan, and I tweeted this last night or early evening yesterday, it just is kind of deflating. I mean, all things considered, I, speaking candidly, thought the Patriots would lose this game to the Kansas City Chiefs, but I thought it would be a competitive game. I thought it would be a really fun game to watch. I thought it would be a statement game for the New England Patriots, like the Seahawks in a loss, but I thought it would be close. Now, if they're going to play Monday or Tuesday, Cam most likely he pretty much can't play. He's out. Hoyer's a good guy and he's a good backup, but now you're asking Hoyer on a extremely short week to go in there and play the best team of football. So it kind of just dampens it, and it seems like it's a pause on a lot of momentum for New England. They were just starting to reassert themselves into one of the better teams in the NFL conversation. And all of a sudden, Cam doesn't play. It looks like now it could be an ugly loss to the Chiefs whenever this game is played, if it's played this week. Now it looks like an ugly loss to the Chiefs, and all of a sudden, it just kind of resets the momentum that the Patriots started to really build, at least in my opinion, through the first 3 weeks of the season. Now, as an update on the situation, as far as I know, and of everything that I've read, it seems like Cam, this is where it gets very weird to me, and it makes me think that this, for the last 2 days, really, since this has been happening, I thought it was a false positive, honestly, because as of now, as of when this video is going up, no other Patriot has yet to test positive. They've tested everybody else, and no one's tested positive. Now, I know I'm not anywhere even remotely close to the medical or science field, but I know that there's different incubation periods in different people, and when it would pop up, I've kind of gathered that. But it's very weird that not one other player in the Patriots locker room, not one staffer, nobody else that's in that building at One Patriot Way in Foxborough has tested positive. It's very weird to me, especially considering Cam is in the huddle on every play, on Sunday. Cam is in the facility more than anybody else on the team. Cam is in meeting rooms with everybody. So I find it very weird that Cam was the only person that tested positive, and It's very weird. I mean, you look at a team like the Titans, 8 players had it. The last I heard, 18 players had it. That was an update on Sunday morning, this morning as well. And now their next week's game is in jeopardy of not getting played because of that. So how come in that Titans locker room it flared up, but Cam is the only guy through 2 days to have tested positive, and no one, and granted, a couple people might in the next, maybe tonight when the next one comes out, or tomorrow morning, but I mean, as far as we know right now, Cam's the only guy, and it's been that way for 24 hours now. It's just very, very weird, honestly. In terms of the rest of the New England Patriots, in terms of on the field kind of stuff, it's a frustrating hit of news. It's frustrating because Cam has had a really good season, all things considered. I mean, he's completing a high percentage of passes. He hasn't been perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but the offense looks pretty good. They put up 32 straight weeks, and this was going to be an opportunity for them again to make another statement. And now it just kind of derails a lot of momentum. It's frustrating because if they play the Chiefs on Monday or Tuesday, especially if they play Tuesday, although I've heard they're leaning on Monday, if they do play Tuesday or later in the week, now the Patriots and the Chiefs, and specifically the Patriots, who are going to need to stockpile wins here because they're not the Chiefs. So the Patriots are going to have to now go into Denver on, what, a 5-day week, a 4-day week? So now all of a sudden you're risking player safety because you have guys playing 2 games in 5 days. It just, things get frustrating now because it derails everything. And it is kind of a blowback on the NFL. I mean, they started the season, they had a ton of time to prepare. They watched Major League Baseball do the bubble into the postseason. The NBA bubble has worked perfectly, although, people argue ratings are down and it affected, the outcomes of everything, but that's here nor there. If you're the NFL, you had a ton of time to prepare. They didn't really do much. It didn't feel like they did much, and now things are coming full circle. I mean, there was the whole bunch of false positives a few weeks ago that the NFL skated past, and I think football fans, myself included, I think we were all in denial, and we were just so happy to see football back, but COVID could affect anyone, and it's now infiltrated the NFL, which really, really sucks, and now it's the NFL's turn to react to this and to fix it, and to fix it in a way that you're not ruining a team's season and risking player safety. And it's tough. It really is. The 2 things I keep thinking that could fix this or help teams would be, maybe entering an NFL bubble. Take 2 weeks off, get everybody back to, quarantining and testing negative, get the whole league reset, and then go into some sort of a bubble. It would be tough now because if you're playing guys only on your coast, kind of like Major League Baseball did, now, I mean, would you have the AFC East versus NFC East? In that case, the strength of schedule, I mean, New England would win, 11 games if they're only playing the AFC East and the NFC East. I don't know. It raised a whole bunch of questions that the NFL should have had prepared before this point, and they haven't. And it's a bad look on them, and it's a frustrating look. Now it's affected the Patriots. I posted on my Instagram earlier this week, if I was the Steelers, I would be furious. I lost my bye week, and I didn't have one guy test positive for COVID, and I lost my bye week. I effectively have to play, 17, 18 straight weeks to win a Super Bowl. I honestly don't think it's fair. And all of a sudden now, teams are at disadvantages because of this, and it's all because of the NFL's lack of being prepared for something that I think is inevitable when you're looking at it. The other idea that a friend brought up to me that I haven't really seen any major issues would be to have a week 18, let's say, with like an asterisk next to it, and have it be like a COVID makeup week. So that would be the week that the Titans and the Steelers played. That would be the week that the Chiefs and the Patriots played. There's going to be more games moved. That would be the week where you make up all the games going into the playoffs. I mean, it's not like you're, at this point, bumping into another league if you play the Super Bowl a week later at the second week of February, especially down in Miami or wherever they're hosting it. It's normally warm weather. So it's just, why not add a week 18? You make a couple million more dollars by having people watch the 5 or 6 games, hopefully only 5 or 6 games that would be played that week, probably more at the rate we're going, and just push everything back a week. I don't know. I truly don't. I'm just one guy sitting here talking to you about the New England Patriots and how the NFL dropped the ball. It's not my job to figure it out. If it was my job, I would have been more prepared for this because, again, I think it was inevitable when you take the fact that, oh, football is back, this is awesome. But I think it was inevitable when you just look at it at what it was. I mean, it's a bunch of large, grown-ass men all over each other, high-fiving each other, jumping on each other, tackling each other. It's only a matter of time, and here we are, and now it screwed the Steelers, it screwed the Titans, it screwed the Patriots, and it screwed the Chiefs. And we're only in week 4 at this point. So the NFL's got to do something. It finally hit us as Patriot fans because this is our team, and this is just a complete derail of momentum early on in the season when this looks like an actually pretty good team, a team that was a lot better than most of us maybe even thought they would be. So without much more to say, once again, I'm Tyler Brandt. This wasn't the video I wanted you to see on this beautiful Sunday, this beautiful game day, but this is the hand we're dealt. So enjoy watching football today, knowing that the Patriots can't win or lose today, so you get to just enjoy football as a football fan. If you have any comments on the situation about Cam, what you think of COVID, what do you think the NFL should do regarding COVID, leave it in the comments down below. chop it up with me down there. Also on Twitter and Instagram at the Tyler Brandt on Twitter and at Talking Pats on Instagram. I'd be happy to chop it up all day. I won't be live tweeting because there's no games to live tweet, but if you want to talk about the games, I'll be tweeting as I'm watching all the games. So enjoy football Sunday without the Patriots. Hopefully we see them very soon. Hopefully Cam makes a very speedy recovery. Be safe, wash your hands, wear a damn mask. This is a real thing. No matter what you think of it, it's a real thing. If it's affecting the President of the United States and it's affecting your starting quarterback and my starting quarterback, it's a real thing. Wash your hands, wear a mask, social distance, be safe, be healthy. I'm Tyler Brandt, and I'll catch you on the next video.